Understanding the internal mechanics of how your performance is measured can significantly reduce the anxiety that often accompanies a high-stakes professional examination. By diving into the specific scoring policies of the Global Information Assurance Certification, GIAC, Law of Data Security and Investigations, GLEG, you can develop a strategy that focuses on high-impact areas while managing your time effectively. Typically, these rules are designed to ensure that the final result is a valid and reliable reflection of your actual competence in the legal and technical domains. What this means is that once you grasp how the points are calculated, you can shift your focus from the mystery of the grade to the mastery of the curriculum. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyber.author.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. In the world of standardized testing, it is helpful to realize that every question carries a specific weight based on its difficulty and its relevance to the core professional standards of the industry. Typically, questions that test fundamental principles or high-priority legal duties may be valued differently than those covering more obscure or niche regulations. This weighting is determined through a scientific process that ensures the exam effectively discriminates between candidates who have mastered the material and those who have not. What this means is that your performance is not just a raw count of correct answers, but a nuanced evaluation of your ability to handle the most critical concepts in the field. You can think of the entire scoring system as a rigorous quality control measure that ensures only qualified candidates earn the right to hold the professional credential. This structured approach to evaluation is essential for maintaining the integrity of the certification and the trust of the employers who rely on it for hiring decisions. Typically, the certification body uses these metrics to verify that every version of the exam provides a consistent level of challenge for every participant. What this means is that the system is inherently fair, as it accounts for minor variations in question difficulty to ensure that the passing standard remains the same over time. A frequent pitfall encountered during the testing process is spending too much of your limited mental energy on ungraded pilot questions that sometimes appear. These items are typically being tested for future use and do not count toward your final score, yet they look identical to the real questions. Because you cannot identify which questions are experimental, it is important to treat every item with professional focus without letting a single confusing or outlier question stall your overall progress. Typically, if a question seems completely outside the scope of the objectives you have studied, it may simply be an ungraded item intended for research purposes only. To maximize your final score, the most effective strategy is to provide an answer for every single question on the exam, even if you are unsure of the correct choice. Unlike some other professional certifications, there is no penalty for an incorrect guess, meaning a wrong answer is treated the same as a blank one. Typically, leaving a question unanswered is the only way to guarantee you receive 0 points for that specific item, which can unnecessarily lower your overall percentage. What this means is that even a guess based on limited knowledge provides a statistical chance of success that a blank space does not offer. Most candidates feel a profound sense of relief once they realize that a few difficult or missed questions will not automatically result in a failure of the entire exam. The scoring threshold is typically set at a point that allows for a reasonable margin of error, acknowledging that no professional is perfect in every single subtopic. Typically, a passing score for this type of practitioner exam is around 68%, though you should verify your specific version's requirement in your official portal. Knowing that you can miss a certain number of questions while still achieving your goal allows you to maintain a calm and steady pace throughout the 3-hour session. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is the process of elimination, which significantly increases your statistical probability of selecting the correct legal answer. Even if the right choice is not immediately obvious, you can often identify 1 or 2 options that are clearly incorrect based on the laws or policies you have studied. Typically, removing the distractors leaves you with a much higher chance of success, even if you have to make a final choice between the remaining 2 candidates. What this means is that you are actively managing your risk on every question by narrowing the field of possibilities down to the most plausible legal conclusions. Reviewing the official passing threshold early in your preparation allows you to set realistic and measurable goals for your practice exam sessions. Most learners find that they can gauge their readiness by comparing their practice scores to the actual requirements of the certification body. Typically, if you are consistently scoring 10 to 15% above the passing mark in your practice runs, you are in a strong position to handle the pressure of the real test environment. What this means is that the passing score serves as a benchmark for your progress, helping you decide when it is time to transition from study to examination. It is perfectly normal to encounter a confusing item that seems to block your momentum, but visualizing yourself skipping it and returning later can be a very helpful mental strategy. Typically, the exam interface allows you to delay a certain number of questions, usually between 10 and 15, so they appear again at the very end of your session. What this means is that you can move past the frustration of a difficult question and gather more confidence by answering the items you know well first. Often, a later question might even trigger a memory or provide a clue that helps you solve the item you initially skipped with a fresh perspective. Professionals in the certification industry often use the term psychometrics to describe the sophisticated science behind how your exam results are analyzed and validated for accuracy. This field of study ensures that the exam is not just a random collection of questions, but a mathematically sound instrument for measuring human knowledge and ability. Typically, psychometricians analyze every question to ensure it is not biased and that it reliably measures the specific objective it was designed to test. What this means for you is that the exam is a high-quality, professional tool that has been rigorously vetted to ensure that your success is truly earned and legally defensible. We have now explored the core mechanics of question valuation and the critical reason why you should never leave a blank answer on your digital exam sheet. By understanding that every question counts toward your final goal, you can approach the test with a more aggressive and proactive mindset. Typically, the most successful students are those who treat every item as a fresh opportunity to earn points rather than a potential obstacle to overcome. What this means is that you are in full control of your performance, using the rules of the system to your advantage at every stage of the testing process. A very practical quick win for your study plan is to practice timing your responses so that you average exactly 90 seconds for every single question. While some items will take much less time, such as simple vocabulary checks, others will require more thought, and this average keeps you on a safe pace to finish comfortably. Typically, the exam provides 180 minutes for about 75 to 115 questions, depending on the version you are taking. What this means is that by managing your clock effectively, you ensure that you never have to rush through the final few items where easy points might be found. Developing a deep understanding of the scoring policy removes the mystery surrounding the exam and allows you to focus purely on the legal and technical content. When you are no longer worried about how the grade is calculated, your mind is free to engage more deeply with the nuances of privacy law and investigation procedures. Typically, the most prepared candidates are those who have mastered both the material and the environment in which they will be tested. What this means is that your confidence will naturally grow as you become more familiar with the expectations and the rules of the game you are about to play. This session on scoring mechanics is now complete, providing you with a solid foundation for managing your testing experience with professional poise. As a final step in this phase of your journey, it is helpful to review the certification body's official retake policy to understand your options in the unlikely event of a failure. Typically, there is a mandatory 30-day waiting period between attempts to ensure you have enough time to master any areas where your performance was lacking. Moving forward with a warm and informed perspective will help you navigate the remaining modules of this course with clarity and a sense of purpose.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit BareMetalCyber.com.